Yo, what's up, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another review. This is Queens, Season 1, Episode 1, entitled 1999. Queens comes on every Tuesday at 10 p.m. on ABC. So, let me just say I enjoyed this show. I'm going to be super excited to review it. I thought it was a great show, a great pilot. I am definitely just interested in how this thing is going to turn out as the show progresses. So for me, if you guys did not know, if you're new to this channel, welcome and all that good stuff like that. I am a huge Brandy fan. And when I say huge, I mean like since I was 8 years old, I've been rocking with Brandy. And I'm, far from 8 years old now. But I'm so happy for her. I'm happy for Eve and Naturi. And even though I don't know Nadine, I am happy for her as well, even though I want to punch her character in the throat. But we're gonna get to that in a little minute. But yeah, the show is super good. Like it had its funny moments, it had its serious moments, and I'm glad that they are touching on so many topics in between these four women. I absolutely love it. So without further ado, y'all know how I do. We're gonna get right into this thing. So basically the show is about four friends who have experienced superstardom as a all-female rap group called Nasty Bitches. And we're picking up 20 years later from when they first came on the scene. So they have been broken up for a long time, and everyone is living their own individual lives at this moment. So I liked how they did it where they show like parts of the video and then it cut to what's going on with that particular character. So the first character that we are introduced to is Brianna, which is called, Professor Sex is her group name, stage name. And she has 5 kids. She's married. So Brianna is married. She has 5 children. And I mean, I was like, Jesus, we were just kids everywhere. It was just kids everywhere. But, she seems like to be that all-around mom who plays soccer mom and PTA and all that other stuff like that. And so her husband comes downstairs. Her husband, I forget his name. It starts with an R, but y'all probably know him from Tariq, playing Tariq in Sister Sister. So I said, Lord, he never plays a good husband. It is very rare that he plays a great love interest. He normally always plays an asshole, a cheater. And that was no different here. So that was like our introduction to Brianna. Brianna goes to the store and there's these 2 people kissing all on her car. And I'm thinking, back the hell up. What are y'all doing? And so when they see her, the dude was like, oh, yeah, babe. Like, I know her. Basically, it was like, they thought she was a member of TLC. And the girl was like, ain't no member of TLC finna be walking around here with some dirty ass sweats on. I was like, well, damn. Brianna, what you gonna say? Professor Sex? She let it slide. What I have noticed of Brianna's character, she scares me because she has this first episode, baby girl done been through a lot, and she really has not blown up the way that I would have expected her to blow up. But we're gonna get to that in a little minute. So Naomi is portrayed by Brandy, and her stage name is Explicit Lyrics. So when we see her, she's basically living the life of a washed up musician. However, she is performing the types of songs and she's doing the music that she really wants to do. And so I'm like, you get a plus for that. I understand when your career is no longer where it was and you still trying to find your way because it's still a passion and it's still a desire. We also see that Naomi, goes to Atlanta and you see the balloons, or it's somebody's birthday or what have you, or a celebration of some sort. And we find out that Naomi has a daughter who she has not seen in a year. And you can tell there's definitely some issues, some red flags going on with this mother and daughter dynamic, even with, Naomi and her mom. There's issues there as well. And one of the things we found out is that the daughter does not know, she believes that her mom, doesn't know who her father is, which I believe that's a lie. We're going to get to that in a minute. I do believe that Naomi knows exactly who the father of her daughter is. So, the daughter did not welcome her in. She did not want her there. And so that's where we see Naomi. Valeria, you know what? The jury is still out on her because I don't know if I like that trick. I don't know if I like her. I don't know if I trust her all the way, because when we're introduced to her, she's working on this show, and she gets knocked down from covering this huge story to pretty much covering a show or a topic that no one really cares about. And in order to get back, she's in her feelings. She puts truth serum in the lady who got the story. So she goes on about black people and what happens when she sees an ignorant black person and what she calls them. So she basically, wanting to get the girl fired or whatever the case may be. However, it backfired. And they have footage of her switching the cup. And I was like, girl, how the hell you been on this show all this time? You don't know where the cameras are. You don't know that the cameras are on. But anyway, well, that's how we are introduced to what's Valeria, aka Butter Pecan. Jill. Jill is married, and Jill is in love with someone else. Jill is not, she loves her husband, but she's not in love with her husband. And she happens to be in love with a woman named Tina. Jill is still in the closet. She has not, been able to publicly, express and tell her truth, or she's not really comfortable enough yet to live in her truth. So we kind of see the struggle with Jill and wanting to be truthful because she's Catholic. She's the father of a deacon and, all that other stuff. And I'm like, this is definitely to me a storyline that a lot of people can relate to, even if it's not, where you are a lesbian or you're gay or what have you. Just when you grow up in a strictly, religious family, it can be hard. It can be hard. And, you tend to lean on deceit more than truth. But that's where we are with the women. So, Brianna, she's just through. Brianna catches her man cheating. She catches him cheating with this white chick. Now, it's the fact that he cheated, but it's the fact that he cheated on her with the white chick who happens to be his student. That made it even worse. Now, I'm going to let y'all know for real. Brianna is too damn calm for me. That's why I said she scares me, because, something clicked in my mind just watching it. And I was like, I would have been looking around my bedroom saying, what can I pick up to knock both of their asses out? What can I do? And I went to work today, and me and a coworker was talking. She was like, who would you have hit first? I said, I don't know. Both of them. Whatever I could do to get 2 licks in with one substance, with one object, that's what I'm doing. But I'm probably not gonna stop till I see blood. That's just how my mind works when it comes to cheating. That is a one and done. There is nothing but, they married, so maybe that's different. But, the girl, I normally don't wear condoms. He convinced me because of the respect I have for you and your family. I said, knock her ass out. Brianna, and she just stood there. Like, she just stood there replaying what happened earlier in the day of these two people thinking she's not good enough to be a part of TLC. And I'm like, I'm not understanding what's happening in this moment. Like, nuck if you buck, why are there no fist throwing? I'm not understanding how she is so calm in this moment. But she was, she was trying to be sexy for her husband. And, because maybe she hadn't given him none in a while, because, as I said, they have 5 children. But, I don't understand how she was that calm. I'm still perplexed about that. Like, I am really still perplexed about that. But anyway, so they're trying to have family dinner, and it just wasn't working. So she ended up stepping out. She goes to her car, turns on the radio, and she hears a sample of her song with the group. So she immediately calls Jill. Jill is asleep in bed, and she's not asleep in bed. She's in bed, probably just regretting laying next to this man. And so, they get on the phone, she answers, so they come to LA. And they see each other, they greet each other, so on and so forth. And then, Naomi comes in, and Jill asks her, like, how was she doing? What was she doing with her life? And she was talking about, I'm doing music, and people are responding. And so in walks Valeria. And so Jill and Brianna was like, hey, girl, you look good or whatever. So instantly, there's an issue between Naomi and Valeria. We don't know what the issue is, but we know there's a problem. And so, Naomi is looking at her up and down. Brandy's facial expressions in this episode was top tier. She was looking like she wanted to kill this girl for real. So Brandy didn't have much to, excuse me, not Brandy. Naomi didn't have much to say because the moment she looked at Valeria coming in there, Valeria kind of like snarking at her, she ran up to her, called her the B word, and knocked her down. So we come back from commercial. They pulling hair, all of this. So Brianna gets Naomi off of her. And she basically tells Valeria that she's the reason why the group broke up in the first place. So in walks their manager, Eric. He kind of helps with, separating the two women as well. And, he lets them know that they have an opportunity to be on stage and perform at BET, closing BET with the artist Muffin, who is the one who sampled their music. And also Muffin, oh, father, Muffin is a lot. Muffin to me is a culmination of the many female rappers that are out now. She's very animated. She's very colorful. I wasn't even understanding half of what she was saying. I was with the women too. I'm like, what did she say? What the hell? I don't even know what the girl said. But, they get this big opportunity. And, Valeria is basically saying that this is beneath me. I don't need y'all. So I'm only doing this because sometimes I feel guilty that I'm the only one who really experienced success and notoriety after this group fell through. She was just acting like a real unstable creature. Y'all already know what that's my substitute for. Unstable creature. So, she walks away. And so she didn't know that her whole world was about to blow up because, as I stated earlier, they had footage of her switching the cups that she put the truth serum in, and she ended up losing her job. So the other three ladies, they're out, they're talking amongst themselves about how their life is now because they were getting paid $50,000 a piece to do this. So it's like, I need this money. Hey, it could really benefit my life right now. And so Valeria pops up at the restaurant. And, I'm just like, no, I take that back. Not yet. She didn't show up yet. So as the three ladies are leaving, Naomi sees Eric at the bar. And so she walks up to him and, basically demands that he buys her a drink. And they're kind of like having small talk about what happened with them. Like they had something that was pure and that was real, not only with the group, but between them as well. I don't know about Eric. Eric, he sounds sincere. However, I don't know about him. I really don't know about him. So, he was like, I called you and you never called me back. And she was like, you hurt me. Basically, I was the secret chick. I was the side chick to you and Valeria. And he was basically like, it wasn't like that or whatever the case may be. And he was like, you had a baby by someone else. And so that's when she was like, you hurt me. But when he said, he's been married twice, divorced twice, and he doesn't have any children, I'm like, I think you got a daughter you don't know about, sir. But, we going to see what happens with that. And so basically she was like, are we going to finish this up in my room, or you want to sit down here and continue to talk about your feelings? So they end up having sex. I said, well, damn, Naomi, you don't waste no time, do you? And baby girl sure did not. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna skip some parts. So we get to the part where all the women are out. Valeria comes. And she's basically like, I thought about it. I want to be a part of this. And, I can't blame y'all for not having my back because I've never really had you guys' back. And I'm like, oh, so you being like a backstabber from the very beginning. That's the vibe I'm getting from you. That's why I say I don't like her, because I know that her motive is really for self. So I don't know how I feel about her right now. But basically, she was like, the only time I felt like family is when, I was with you guys. And Brianna was like, we are family. Naomi had this death stare. She was looking at Valeria like, unstable creature, I want to hit your ass again. That's how she was looking. And so she was like, I'm still going to need an apology. And, Valeria did apologize. I don't know if it was sincere or not. I just think that, she needs the money, and I believe she'll do whatever she deems necessary to get back in their good graces so that she can get this money. So, that's how I feel about her. Anyway, butter pecan my ass. But so they do this cipher, and they going in. They going in. Notori was giving me, much Lil' Kim when she was on Notorious. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Valeria ain't the best rapper, but I understand that she's playing a certain role, and I believe her role in the group is that she kind of just, she's eye candy. Not really an actual, lyricist or whatnot, but she's just there. You know what I'm saying? So Eve character, Brianna, is going in. The music doesn't stop. She's still going. She's, coming from a place of hurt because of what she's experiencing with her husband. So he ends up showing up. And, he was like, can we talk? And she was like, you might go say what you want to say. They all know what you did. And so we find out that he has cancer. He has a tumor. And, he was just like, I want you to come home because I don't want to tell the kids by myself. And so she ends up going home. We don't see them telling the children about his cancer. But then this asshole, I said, you know what? this nigga actually had the audacity to say, I've been doing some extensive research, and I've been binge watching Grey's Anatomy. And, depending upon where this tumor is located, there's a possibility like that's what made me do what I did. Brianna gave him the same look that I'm sure most of us gave him too. Like, what did you just say? I was like, dude, you know what? The fact that you cheated, I could respect the fact of you just being honest about what you did. You did what you did because that's what you wanted to do. It had absolutely nothing to do with you having a tumor, you having cancer. It did not, manipulate and cause you to act a way that wasn't in you to act. Like, I said, wow, this is, I don't even have no word. I was like, wow, out of all the things he could have said, that was a blow for me because I was like, I wasn't expecting that. He just went a whole nother direction with this. So while, Brianna is at home, Jill has an experience with Muffin in the bathroom. She kind of can already see where this girl's career is going and how it's being, deciphered by the men around her. So, she comes in and, she's taking a hit of Coke or whatnot. And I believe she asked Jill, did she want some? And Jill was holding on, rubbing her cross, and she just, she respectfully declined. So later that night, Naomi, Jill, and Valeria, they show up at Muffin's house, and they just walk in her house, and they told Jill, like, baby girl, you've been living in Montana a little too long to think that you could just walk into somebody's house. But she had the music blasting. When Jill found her, it looked like she was unconscious. I thought the girl was dead, and we see Coke everywhere. And it was really bad, and so they called the ambulance. She went to the hospital, and the girl stayed by her side the whole time. And Jill took a special, I would say like a parental role in this young girl's life, I guess, because it's kind of like she was watching herself over again. And so she was like, no, she's not performing. She's not leaving until, she gets better. And Muffin's manager, I don't even know his name, the white dude, he was so disrespectful. His mouth was so reckless. And, I see Jill, holding on to her cross. And she was like, turn the other cheek. And he was like, what? And she slapped the entire hell out of him. I mean, there was no hell left. She slapped everything that was in him. She slapped it out. Everything that was dormant in him, Jill slapped that thing up out of him real quick. So the girls are explaining to Brianna what happened with Jill at the hospital. And, these women, I know there may have been apologies, but they have some real deep issues, and I hope that we do definitely get the opportunity to see, everything that really went on with them within the group, what actually caused the breakup. And Jill and Naomi kind of get into it because she was basically like, the manager told them that they were not going to perform anymore. And they were down about that, of course. And, Naomi was like, I really needed this. And so, Brianna was like, do y'all ever think of anything other than yourself? And so, Valeria was like, yes, I do. I'm like, shut up. No, you don't. You're the most selfish thing of sitting on this couch right now. And so Naomi and Jill, you know what I'm saying? They talked about her, I say this. Naomi is so defensive about everything. She really is. And so, but Jill hit under the belt because she told her, you need to stop being so concerned about fame and worry about that daughter that you abandoned. And I was like, damn. it shut Naomi up. She didn't have anything to say because it's actually the truth. But it was still a low blow, and it was still something you could tell that definitely hit. And so, Jill was able to say that, that she was gay. And it was the first time she was able to admit that. She admitted it to her sisters, and they had a moment there. You know what I'm saying? They had a moment. And I was just like, I want them to succeed so badly. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm watching them, and they're now in their 40s, and it's like when you feel just in life in general, when you feel like you haven't accomplished those things that you want to accomplish, it is hard to let it go. It doesn't matter how old you get. You see some people that may say, man, he 40 what? He 30 what? Nah, he too old to be a rapper. You should have started when you was 19. Give it up. And I'm like, no. Because dreams don't have an expiration date. As long as you're breathing, as long as you have the ability and the use of your limbs and all that other good stuff, it is never too late to achieve a dream. It's never too late to achieve a vision or those things that you have imagined for yourself. As long as you got breath in your body, you can still do it. So I was just like, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for all of them, even Valeria, trifling ass. Like, I'm rooting for everybody. So there's a scene where, I forgot to talk about this. There's a scene where it's the three ladies, and, Brianna tells the girls what happened. And they're shocked that she didn't do anything. Naomi was like, did you cut his penis off? Like, what's going on? Because when you was dating Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying? We find him kissing Foxy, outside the club. You burned up his car. I was like, that's so cute. And I like the fact that they are using references, back to the late 90s. And so that was really cool. So I do like that they're keeping it, they're, the continuity of their stories. I really like that it's staying up on the times, with Ja Rule and Foxy, because in 1999, these people was popping. So I really enjoy, I don't know who wrote this episode. However, I do appreciate the fact that they're keeping that nostalgia and the continuity of these stories. They're keeping it as it should be. So that was really, really good. So we get to this performance, and I was like, this made me feel like I was watching like an old clip of an actual award show. The production of this show, like whatever their budget is, they using it very well. And so we get the Jill part. Everybody did a fabulous job, a phenomenal job. We get to Jill's part, and Jill comes out on live TV. You know what I'm saying? She comes out on live TV, and that was a moment. And her lover, Tina, was excited. I know the husband was pissed, but that's neither here nor there. I was like, Lord, that's so sad. I know people who have experienced this personally, where, they're with someone because they're not ready to come out yet. And you've been, dragging this person, for the past 4 years of your life. And now you're ready to come out, and this person is left devastated because they had no idea. That is a personal story that I know someone that has happened to, and I'm like, dang, like I couldn't even imagine. I do understand, like, your truth, you just may not be comfortable in it or ready to walk in it, but just think about that other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's horrible. But it was a freeing moment, and I'm glad that she had her moment, and she, had her friend, she had her sisterhood, her tribe, on stage with her. But she was able to do that because I know it was scary and everything like that. Because, she was married to this man who wanted to have a family with her, and she was lying about her fertility dates and, her fertility days. And I'm just like, when you got to do all of that, I know it may be hard, but you just got to cut them loose and let them know what's going on, because it's not fair to him, and it's definitely not fair to you. I think I covered everything. Oh, no, I didn't. Eric, Naomi is downstairs, and she's, working on her rhymes or whatever. And Valeria comes down, and basically what I'm going to assume is that Naomi, AKA Explicit Lyrics, she was like the most talented one in the group, because she was like the glue that held everyone together. And Valeria makes a statement, and she says, I oftentimes wonder where I would be if I had your talent. And, Naomi was basically like, well, you took advantage of it. You maximized your opportunity. I didn't. And so, she was talking about her daughter, and she was like, Valeria, we found out that her mom gave her away when she was, young, and the things that she experienced in foster care. And she was like, if your daughter is anything like me, I know the only thing she wants is you. Like, she wants a phone call from you. She wants you. Like, that's the biggest thing of it all. And there's a song toward the end of the episode that Brandy is singing, and it's called Hear Me. And it's such a beautiful song. It can be found on Spotify. It is such a beautiful, heartfelt song that she wrote, obviously, you know, for her daughter. And it was just really good. Like, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this episode. It was really good. It was very well executed. They did give us a lot of information for this first episode, but it was really good. Like, it was really, really good. So I'm looking forward to watching it every Tuesday, and, you know, coming out with the reviews and just seeing how y'all felt about it. It was really good. I must say so, if I do say so myself. It was really good, and they have, I think it was like rated 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So just seeing the feedback that they're getting, and because it's funny because all of those women are in their 40s except Naturi. I think she's like 37. But it's really great because these are women, you know, excluding the Nadine actress, you know, but Eve, Brandy, especially Brandy, she been in the game since she was like 11. Like, she was super young, and to be 42 years old and still have a top tier career, it is unheard of. It is a beautiful thing to watch, just seeing, you know, these black women and this surge that is happening on ABC, because ABC will cancel a show quick as hell. So I'm glad that there was a great outpouring of congratulations and applause and viewership for this first episode. So I'm looking forward to it. You guys can let me know what you think. I'm just trying to make sure that I touched everything that I wanted to touch. I did not. So even in the scene where, you know, Valeria and Naomi have this moment, Eric bring his ass in there. And, you know, Valeria's like, you know, well, we going to go out to eat, and I'm going to do this. And, you know, Naomi kind of looked, but she left it alone. She ain't caused no drama. She didn't cause a scene. And I said, oh, are we seeing growth in the first episode with Naomi? I think we did. Because it's obvious that there is a deep connection or deep sense of emotion that she carries for Eric. But she just let that mess slide, because I think at the end of the day, she knows that he is no good. So I was happy that she did that. But yeah, you know, great show, great cast. Looking forward to the Tuesdays to come. And until next time, I will holler at y'all later. When?